You're listening to a New York Islanders episode of the Jacob Valk Show. He's breaking down the team's latest goings-on as only he can. Follow him on Twitter at RealJacobValk. Here he is, Jacob Valk.
Hello, Islanders fans! Welcome to another New York Islanders episode of the Jacob Valk Show. I am Jacob Valk, and it's been a while since I've been able to say this, but all is right in Islanders land. They've won 5 straight. They're 7-2-1 in their last 10. They are the only team in the NHL to have not lost a game in regulation at home. They are leading the East Division. They are tied for having the 4th most points in the league. For whatever it's worth, they're tied with the Panthers. I can make the argument that this is the best moment in time for me to be a sports fan. And what I mean by that is, I'm a Yankees, Islanders, Jets, and Nets fan. Have I been alive when the Yankees were good? Yes, absolutely. I was there for Game 6 of the 2009 World Series. The Islanders have been very good recently. Every year under Barry Trotz and Lou Lamoriello, they've made the playoffs. And they've won a round, too. The Jets made back-to-back AFC title game appearances in my lifetime. I remember the 2002 and 2003 NBA Finals. But when you look at all 4 of those teams and put them together, there's never been a better moment to be a fan of all 4 of those teams. The Yankees are probably pennant favorites. The Islanders are leading the division. The Jets are tied for first right now. It's the offseason. Anything can happen. And it does seem like the Jets are going to get a really good quarterback, whether it's Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence. It seems like the Jets are finally going to have a franchise quarterback. And the Nets are the best team in basketball. Maybe not in terms of the standings, but their end to this season and the season after looks brighter than all the other teams in the league. I mean, it's absolutely incredible, but I'll focus on the Islanders. I was talking to my buddy Jim. We were saying that the Islanders have 3 games against the Sabres. How many points would you be okay with? He said 4. I said 5. None of us thought that they beat the Sabres 3 times in 4 days. Do you have any idea how hard that is? First up, you gotta play your backup goalie. Second up, the other team gets intimately familiar with you. The odds are that you're gonna lose at least 1. Instead, and you could have gotten great odds on this in Vegas, the Islanders won all 3 of those games by a score of 5-2. they destroyed the Sabres. Now, I understand that it's the Sabres. They're the worst team in the NHL. But the Islanders beat a team that they should have beaten. Not every team can say that. Yesterday, the Bruins should have beaten the Devils. Scott Wedgwood pitched a shutout. The guy made 40 saves. He was fantastic. Yes, the Sabres are that bad. But the Islanders are also really, really good. I mean, this is a team that really could go on a deep run in the playoffs. And to make matters even better, they're going to have fans in the stands for those playoffs. Tickets went on sale today for select people to buy tickets for the first 7 home games at the Coliseum starting on my birthday, March 18th. I have tickets to 3 of those. I'm going on my birthday. I'm going April 3rd, so I'll see the Flyers twice. And you know I want to go to Isles Rangers. No longer will I need to go to Jersey to see my favorite team play. Although I am going Saturday and Sunday. That's another 3 games in 4 days that they're playing against the same opponent. Can the Islanders take another threesome? I don't know, that's a tall ask, but look, they're playing fantastic hockey right now. They're one of the hottest teams in the NHL. They're right up there with the Golden Knights and Hurricanes. And the thing that makes my heart happy is that they're doing it with young guns. The young guns that Lou Lamoriello identified as key contributors are stepping up. Of course, they've gotten veteran help. No question. Anders Lee, Jordan Eberle, Nick Leddy, J.G. Pajot. They're all big parts of what the Islanders are doing. Varlamov, too. But the young guns are the really surprising guys here. Noah Dobson's probably their second best defenseman. In fact, some people would say he's their best defenseman. He's on the third pairing. The guy has 11 points in 25 games. What a fantastic jump he's taken in his sophomore season. Oliver Wahlstrom has stepped up in a huge way. In his last 8 games, he has points in 6 of them. There is no need for the Islanders to trade for a third-line right winger. It can be Wahlstrom. I am moving off that. And Ilya Sorokin is turning into a really good goalie. It kind of stinks that he's stuck behind another really good goalie in Varlamov, but hey, that's a fantastic problem to have. In fact, that's not even a problem. It's a problem for the player, not the team. At this very moment, I feel confident in standing pat at the trade deadline. Could they make a move? The answer is yes. But if on April 13th, the Islanders have made no trades between now and then, and the Islanders keep playing great hockey, okay, that's fine. They could use another player to put them over the top, but this team does have what it takes to go on a really big playoff run again. Yes, I'm calling for another third liner. People have gotten on Josh Bailey for only having 2 goals. He has 11 assists. He has 13 points in 25 games. He's setting up Brock Nelson, who has 9 goals. I don't mind that. No, I want the Islanders to go after a third-line left winger. The reality is, it shouldn't be Michael DeCall. DeCall stinks. Okay? His defense really isn't that good. The guy only has 2 assists in 14 games. He's a bust. He's still a bust. Kiefer Bellows hasn't looked good. Leo Komarov hasn't looked good. Ross Johnston hasn't looked good. Dmytro Timashov looked dreadful. I'd still like to see Austin Czarnik get an extended opportunity to be the third-line left winger. I know that he's a righty, but I'd much rather see him than DeCall. But it doesn't seem like that's in the offing. There was an interesting rumor, though. According to David Pagnotta of the 4th period, the Islanders and Panthers discussed a swap of Komarov for Brett Connolly. The only way that could work is if the Panthers retained some of Connolly's contract, because the Islanders literally have no cap room. I'm not kidding. According to CapFriendly.com, they literally have $0 in cap room. I understand that it's hard to get excited about Connolly. The guy only has 3 points in 16 games. But last year he had 33 points in 69 games. He was almost a 20-goal scorer. If the pause never happened, he probably would have been a 20-goal scorer. Barry Trotz knows him since Connolly was there for Trotz's final 2 seasons with the Caps. Connolly does have his name on the Stanley Cup. He's better than DeCall. He's better than Komarov. I'll tell you, I'd take Connolly in a heartbeat. He's not great. It's not like the Islanders are adding a player like Pajot, but Connolly would be solid for him. In that same article, Pagnotta mentioned some other guys. Not for the Islanders, just players in general that he said could be available. Patrick Marleau's name was mentioned. Lamoriello once signed him to the Leafs. He'd give the Islanders a veteran presence. There's nothing wrong with that. Kyle Palmieri would be absolutely perfect. He's from Long Island. He's from Smithtown, to be specific. The guy can score. Imagine a third line of Kyle Palmieri, J.G. Pajot, and Oliver Wahlstrom. Maybe Palmieri deserves to be on the second line, but for the Islanders, he'd be a third liner. And you know what? He'd get a great chance to win. Ricard Raquel would make sense. Another guy to put that third line over the top. Not Jacob Silfverberg, though. Pagnotta mentioned him. I don't like the idea of Silfverberg with the Islanders. He's not good enough defensively for what Barry Trotz likes to do. So there are guys out there who the Islanders could get. You've just got to make it work within the confines of the cap. Could you convince someone to take on Komarov's contract? Could you convince someone to take on Hickey's contract? Could you convince someone to take on Andrew Ladd's contract? Could you even convince someone to retain a sizable portion of their former player's salary? It's up to Lamoriello to work his magic. I do think this team has what it takes to go on a huge run in the playoffs. Even if they don't add an outside player, I'd think that. But a third-line left winger would really put them over the top. Next week, you're going to get a Brooklyn Nets show. You're not going to get a New York Islanders show until March 29th. Regular episodes of the Jacob Valk Show come your way every weekday afternoon except next week. For specifics, listen to the end of Friday's show. Until next time, I am Jacob Valk saying that a lot of things run through your head when you're going into relief in a tough spot. One of them is, should I spike myself?